The summer sun is still with us, but that doesn't matter at the Disneyland Resort because here, Halloween has not only begun, it's already in full swing. That's right, Halloween is back, and so is Disney's ultimate Halloween party, the Oogie Boogie Bash. Oogie Boogie's guests have already begun to check in, while the regular DCA guests have started to transfer over to Disneyland proper. Because of course, any moment now DCA will close to regular guests, and only people with special tickets to Oogie Boogie's Halloween party will be allowed to remain inside. These events are also one of the only times that adults are allowed to wear costumes into the park, so keep a weather eye open because there'll be lots of epic costumes in the background. And this event is one of my favorites because once you get in with your special wristband and get your treat bag for your Halloween treats, it's not very scary at all. It's all the spookiness and the fun of Halloween without the horror, which is good for us because we've had enough horror already with Allie in the hospital and another surgery recently. But luckily, the tricks seem to be over for us at the moment, and now we finally get a treat as Allie, partially recovered very carefully, gets to join the party with us at the Oogie Boogie Bash. All we need now is for this event to begin and the sun to go down because it is sweltering hot out here. When I stepped outside, I almost thought I was in Florida. What do you think, Walt? Should we start the magic? Let's do it. Oh, there we go.
Place to run. The Oogie Boogie Bash has officially begun.
Finally, it has begun. Of course, nothing looks quite that different yet, but once the sun finally goes down, it will. Luckily, although everything doesn't look fully spooky yet, the treat trails where they give away all that free Halloween candy have already started to open up, which means we can already climb into line to get Allie some candy, which is all she wants, and get a glimpse of the founder of the feast himself. Because every year inside this building is where you'll find none other than Oogie Boogie.
He's ancient. He's I don't know which is worse.
Ooh, there's no light on it tonight, but there's still just something about seeing the big guy every year that's so exciting. Allie, of course, is more focused on all of the free candy in here, but I can just never take my eyes off of Oogie Boogie himself.
Well. What have we here? You look like you deserve to be on my Oogie Boogie list. Let's fix that, shall we? Judging by the looks of this kid, I'd say there's trouble close at hand. Anyone seen that Sandy Claus around? Well, you're really something, aren't you?
That was awesome. Now, Disneyland and Walt Disney World have had Halloween parties for years that include trick-or-treat candy trails. But the genius of the Oogie Boogie Bash is combining the treat trails with something even sweeter, an opportunity to see some of your favorite Disney villains. All right, let's see what other sweet treats we can find before the sun goes down. Hopefully we can find some more indoor ones like that with a little bit of air conditioning. The lines may be a little long here at the beginning, but if you ask Allie, it's always worth it because they come with more candy. Oh, weird. Not only is Cruella outside as per usual. By the way, I just accidentally called her Catella, but they've moved the old indoor meet and greet they used to have over here to be outside as well, which actually makes sense because this is a big one because Minnie, Daisy, and Clarabelle the cow have dressed up as the Sanderson sisters from Hocus Pocus. And believe me, this is a very popular photo op. The line is very, very long, and much to Allie's chagrin, there's not even candy in it, but look at this. You've got what is now arguably Disney's 3 most popular Halloween characters mashed up with 3 of their original popular animated characters. We waited in that line for the photo op with a lot of other people for more than an hour, but we finally quit. We could see them for a long time. We got a lot of good views. I feel like we soaked it up without going in for the hug. because it would have been at least another 40 minutes. So probably better to take a break and get you off your feet. Plus, I know you can't survive that long without getting some more candy. So I wouldn't say it's a waste of time, but with these events being only, what, 4 or 5 hours long, sometimes you have to be a little strategic about how you spend your time. And with the sun going down and things about to look really spooky, it's probably best for us to be moving along. And anyway, as cool as Hocus Pocus is, there's another Disney villain over this way that I like even more. I'm pretty excited for this because this was one of my favorite Disney movies as a kid, even though now for some reason I feel like it's a deep cut. This year, for the first time ever, they have the one, the only Mad Madam Mim.
I wish I had one of those for Merlin in. That would have been interesting. I do have 2 birds with me currently. I have a small red sparrow and an owl. And I don't know their names or where they came from, but I did freeze them in time. I did. Hello there. What was that? Wants to be released from the cage. That's not happening.
I just want to know, where's Merlin?
Why does everybody keep asking about that blathering bungler named Merlin? Why do you care for Merlin?
He's the greatest wizard of all time.
My dear, it's time for you to leave. Goodbye. Go. And if you see Merlin, you've found your best friend, so I hope you're happy together. Goodbye.
She kicked me out just because I love Merlin? Boy, if she gets that touchy about Merlin, imagine what she would have done if I asked about Wart. See, look at that. Mad Madam Mim had such a much shorter line, and there are so many treats on this little trick-or-treat trail, and all that took like 5 minutes. All right, we are moving on quickly now, I hope. I still have not caught up with all the Marvel movies. I'm not even halfway through them. Plus, I still miss the Tower of Terror, so the Avengers Campus goes a little over my head sometimes. I did hear they were gonna have extra characters tonight, although I don't see them out here at the moment. But look at this character, this guy. This is the best character of all. It's me, and you can tell because of the tattoos. Look at that! Sick! That wins the Random Land costume contest of the night. No offense, Loki! Anyway, being so far behind in the Marvel movies means I don't even know who to be looking for. But there is a treat trail over here, and Allie's still craving that sweet candy, so we might just get lucky and see some bonus characters after all. Yep, look at this! It's Agatha! Everybody knows her. Okay, actually, I only know that because they told me at the entrance. I told you, I'm really, really far behind.
It's gonna be all along.
Okay. Over there in that treat trail, they were handing out these grapes right here. Grape Escape! And there was a bunch that had fallen on the floor. People were stepping on them. So I said, oh, looks like you guys are making some wine out here. No laugh, not one laugh.
I'm so excited to eat fruit again. He gave us carrots too.
You don't want any carrots.
You don't know what I want.
Still trying to wrap my head around all the Marvel stuff being mixed in with the Disney stuff. Same thing with Star Wars, you know, even though I like it. Still so weird to me. Still feels new, you know? And speaking of things that are new, what I hear is that there's another new character meet and greet over here. Right here with Ernesto de la Cruz from Coco. Unfortunately, it's closed until the parade passes by, which apparently is going to be in this area any time now. We didn't snag a seat for the first showing of the parade, but do you know what? That is okay with me because look at this. Finally, the lights have gone down enough for DCA to look its spooky best. Now it feels like the Oogie Boogie Bash has truly begun. Yes, Oogie Boogie, and look at this. Mad Madam Mim might be magical after all, because there he is. Merlin is actually here. I love you, Merlin. I'm a big fan of your magic. He noticed me. Merlin noticed me. Dude, as much as I love villains, I have to admit, I love when they have characters like Merlin or Hercules over here out in this central area. Because after all, not everybody likes to dress up as villains for Halloween. Some of us like to dress up like heroes. Like that guy who dressed up like me, right? Heroes. Anyway, as you can see, Merlin is saying goodbye to his last photo guest over there because the parade is about to come through here any minute now. Now, after getting hung up for so long waiting for the Sanderson sisters, we're kind of short on time, but there's one event that I will always make time for, and that's this at the head of the parade, Ichabod Crane and the Headless Horseman. Look at that horseman. He's got no head. Dude, that is my favorite every year. And speaking of getting ahead, while everybody here is waiting for the rest of the parade, this seems like the perfect time to head through Grizzly Peak and find some other treat trails. It's still 80 degrees over here in Grizzly Flats right now, but that is okay because the slightly smaller crowds somehow make it feel a lot cooler over here. All right, gang, time for some more treats and for some old favorites when it comes to villains. Because look at this back here. It's Maleficent again!
It seems the winds have shifted. Perhaps Diablo has returned with news of Princess Aurora's whereabouts. I shall go check. Till then, miss me.
Ooh, that was such a brief sighting, but the briefer the better tonight. Because we've still got a lot of candy to collect and a lot more to see. And the lines aren't getting any shorter behind me. It's just part of the line for the Villains Grove back there in the Redwood Creek Challenge Trail or whatever it's called. It's honestly probably the most creative and my favorite part of the whole Oogie Boogie Bash. But as you can see, it takes a lot of line to get there. Let's not forget, Allie is still recovering from surgery. She says she's doing okay still right now, but I don't want to get her too tired yet. So we're gonna keep on trying to do as many treat trails as possible and collect as much candy as we can before we commit to keeping her on her feet for that entire length of line, you know what I mean? Oh dude, I love how spooky the whole Grizzly River Rapids area gets during the Oogie Boogie Bash. It is fantastic. Halloween in Northern California. Something I've never experienced, but I'd like to one day. Halloween on the Redwood Highway sounds pretty sweet to me. And as long as there's candy, I'm sure Allie would be fine having Halloween anywhere. Okay, now I'm not sure who is down here. Last year it was the Evil Queen, but I know this year they've shaken things up a little bit, so I think we might be getting to see a new villain for Oogie Boogie Bash. Oh my gosh, yes, look at that. It's Mother Gothel!
I look beautiful, don't I? I'm so glad these dresses are back in style.
You might be thinking, Mother Gothel, who the heck is Mother Gothel? I always forget her name too. It's the Mother Knows Best from Rapunzel's Tangled.
I didn't know my mom was gonna be here.
Well, you know mothers. They can appear anywhere all of a sudden. That's why you gotta make sure your underwear drawer is always clean.
I see someone who's done absolutely nothing wrong. I am the victim here. Don't you know? Don't you agree?
No.
That's where you say, Mother Gothel, you've done nothing wrong. Mother Gothel, you've done nothing wrong. Exactly. Listen to your mother. I mean, after all, the king and the queen stole my flower after I kept it safe for years. After I kept it safe for years. And what did they do? They stole it and turned it into soup. Oh, what a shame. I am just a mother who cares for her child. I'm sure many of you could understand. Yes? Mothers just love their children so much. Don't you think? Mother knows best.
Oh, dude. Spooky. I actually used to be kind of a snob, like, I'm not really into newer Disney movies, but Tangled won me over big time, dude. Tangled was so good. Plus, later, I kind of lived it. Remember when I climbed up your hair and I rescued you? Well, you rescued yourself with that frying pan. Ah, yes, memories. I love when they mix up the characters out here. And whoa, speaking of mixing up the characters, and speaking of newer Disney movies, I tell you who this character is, but of course, we don't talk about him. It's Bruno! Shh, don't tell anyone I told you. But that's Bruno from Encanto right there. I tried to ask someone where he was earlier, and they just kept saying, shh, we don't talk about Bruno. That is so awesome. Oh, and look who's with him, Mr. Cheesy Pop. Look at this. It's Lieutenant Commander Data. That is a character I did not think I would see at Oogie Boogie Bash. Just goes to show you, it's everybody's favorite party. All right, there's Villains Grove right there. We have filmed inside of it every year. Still hoping to get in there tonight, but there's still a lot of party left to see first. So for good or evil, we're making our way towards Pixar Pier. Now, I heard that they were gonna have the Sheriff of Nottingham out somewhere at the Oogie Boogie Bash. I've been looking for him for a while. I'm hoping that rumor is true. I gotta keep my eyes open here. Dude, there's so many good costumes out here at this party. And as we've seen, even the most classic Disney characters like getting in on the act, because there's Donald Duck himself all dressed up in his Kingdom Hearts finery, meeting and greeting with all the guests. Oh, look at this. This is good. I thought they got rid of Dr. Facilier to make room for the Sanderson sisters, but it turns out they just relocated him over here to Pixar Pier. That is awesome. He's one of my favorite villains out at the Oogie Boogie Bash. I don't know why, he always does like the funniest stuff every year.
The upside down? No, but I have the other side. It's a big hit. Is it kind of the same thing?
And I must say, they gave Dr. Facilier the prettiest treat trail in the whole party, dude. Look at that view right there. Definitely one of my favorite things out here is costume spotting. Just looking at everybody's awesome costumes out at the party. I've seen several that are really good. Look at this, cutest costume of the whole night. Look at that costume.
Spin, Charlie.
You guys have the little queen right there. That's so cool. And then there's all the Halloween outfits. Like, look at Izzy here. She's got a cute Halloween outfit. And of course, Allie's outfit's not bad either. But oh my word, look at this. Captain Crunch. That might win the best costume, actually. I told someone else that earlier, but I think you might actually win. Oh man, there's a whole lot of Coco going on over here. Kind of seems like this is where they should have put Ernesto de la Cruz, huh? Thinking about it, it's kind of strange that there's no sort of Coco character meet and greets over here. But then again, at the same time, they're kind of taking the Dia de los Muertos thing seriously over here. And if you ever have the time, it's actually really sweet because they have all these family remembrances that people write the names of their family members. It's actually very sweet and cute and touching. And I guess it kind of makes sense why they wouldn't want to combine that with the costume character. There may not be a treat trail here, but it's still very sweet. Dude, this part of the park is so much nicer tonight. We are boogieing through here.
No, we're Oogie Boogie.
Ooh, look at this. There's a magic key treat trail. I can go in there, but you still can't. You didn't get a magic key because you weren't feeling good last year. They never sold them again for you. What are we gonna do? I'm gonna stay with you. Solidarity.
No, go get the treat for me.
I didn't think about it like that. All right, well, they gave us this little bag, which of course I'll be giving to Allie. Whoa.
Have a great night.
It looks like you got some big candy over here. And I'm told that there's a Nightmare Before Christmas photo op backdrop back over here. No characters though. More just a place for magic key holders to take a fun pic. I try to sneak even closer to let you guys see it, from closer up. But I don't want people to think I'm cutting, because after all, no cuts, no butts, no coconuts. Now, of course, the best part of the whole night, really, if you're not as candy driven as Allie or as character spying driven as me, is the fact that it is a limited ticketed event, which means much shorter lines for all the rides. I almost said much shorter rides for all the lines, especially because a lot of people are still in line for the Villains Grove and probably the Sanderson sisters as well. Huh? Wait a minute. What's that voice? I know that voice. That's the voice of Sid from Toy Story. He's back again. Dude, how do they do this? How do they find the perfect Sids every year? They look like they pop right out of the movie, and they all sound the same.
Wow, you should get braces for your eyes. Okay, live me now. Bye. Killer performance. This, the strongest duck alive. Right there. Quack, quack. Next up, legs. Otherwise known as the tightrope terror. Just like you. Alexia is awesome because she does all with no face. That's what makes it so terrifying.
Dude, that rules. And there were treats. See, I like the treat trails so much better than the photo ops like the Sanderson sisters because they keep moving. Like you can go up, you can see the character, you can pause for a second or two, take a fun pic, but it's kind of better, because it has a flow and a purpose and it keeps going. All right, we got Sid out of the way. We've got half of Pixar Pier done. It's amazing how much you can accomplish if you just don't get into really long lines. But I'll be honest with you, this party, we actually have an ulterior motive to moving so quickly through everything. There's so much to see and do at the Oogie Boogie Bash that every year, just to run around and point the camera at all the characters, that just to try to see everything every year means that we never have time to eat. And because the Oogie Boogie Bash is not exactly inexpensive and sells out usually every year within 24, 48 hours, even though we plan to come back and do a second night every year, that rarely happens. So for once, we're trying to squeeze in time for our favorite DCA food, some tacos. We're not even 100% sure that the taco place is open, but we're gonna go down there and take a look anyways. Plus, it'll be good for Allie to get off her feet for a little while and check her stitches. Oh, that's right, she's walking around the whole night with a whole bunch of stitches on her. Looks like there's a shark bite out of her. Shark bite, ooh-ha!
I have a sticky gauze pad over it.
Oh, okay, so you're fine. Seriously, she's fine. She wants to be here. I was like, please just stay home, take it easy. She's like, no, I'm going out and I'm getting candy. You can't tell me how to live. Like, okay, whoa.
I sat down for 2 weeks.
Fair enough. Oh no, Cucina Cucamonga is closed. No tacos tonight. But although they don't have any tacos, they do have something that's almost as good. Look at this, they've got my favorite pirate, Mr. Smee. That is almost as good as tacos, guys. Almost, because I'm still a little bit hungry. Well, I guess there's nothing to it but to do it. We're gonna keep pushing on into the creepy version of Cars Land. Oh, it smells so good over here. Almost as good as tacos. Sorry, I love old Route 66. But I also love food. Just look at that, dude. That is gorgeous. Maybe the most gorgeous thing, the last huge gorgeous thing that Disney ever built. And I have to admit, I was a doubter. When they said they were gonna build a whole land based on Pixar's Cars, I was like, what? But it might be one of the greatest things they've ever done. At least if you're a big fan of Route 66, old cars, and neon, you know the drill. Those are all my favorite things. I gotta admit, I've never spent Halloween on Route 66. But I gotta say, Halloween in Cars Land has got to be pretty close to the real thing. After all, Ramon's Body Art is basically the Conoco station from Shamrock, Texas, and there are so many other classic Route 66 landmarks out here. Like, of course, the Jack Rabbit Trading Post tribute here, or the Sand Hills Curiosity Shop, and then mixing it with Halloween, particularly a car-themed Halloween, and adding in all the classic Pixar characters from the movie Cars in Halloween costumes. That just puts it over the top, dude. And oh my gosh, no way, look at this! This year they've got Red the Fire Engine out here dressed as a clown. That is epic. Dude, they always do something new. That is incredible. And I love it when they plus stuff and they add new things. I know Disney gets a lot of flack for cutting corners in other areas these days. And trust me, I'm not always a fan of everything they do, but I gotta tell ya, when it comes to the Oogie Boogie Bash, it really feels like they don't cut any corners at all. It's not inexpensive, but it definitely feels premium. It feels worth the money. The only thing I'll say is it always feels a little too short. Like it should go till like 1 in the morning or something like that instead of 11 at night. That would help a lot. And of course, I wish they were still serving up tacos, but that's a personal thing. I should have been a smidge more responsible and actually checked the closing times, but I never look at the app. The problem is I'm just one of those spur-of-the-moment people. I like to do things, you know, all of a sudden, like spontaneous. Always keep them guessing, especially your enemies. But as we've seen with the tacos, it does have its drawbacks. Definitely seems like Disney is going in a much more planner-friendly direction lately. With apps and reservations, makes it harder for people with my personality type, but I gotta admit, mobile ordering food and stuff like that is really helpful. And speaking of plans, it looks like finally something's about to go according to plan because look at what's open again. It's been closed for parades and for technical difficulties, but I think it's finally about to happen. We're finally about to see the most popular new character at the Oogie Boogie Bash, Ernesto de la Cruz. Just remember, if he starts singing Remember Me, that's not his song, he stole it. He's a song thief. Okay. Almost there. Gotta get our treats first over here. And there he is. Oh no, he's singing it. He's singing the song. He shouldn't be singing that. He's a song thief. A song thief. Oh no, remember he stole. Dude, that makeup looks so good. I think that might be the real Ernesto. We gotta watch out with this song. We'll get flagged for copyright and for song thieving.
Know that I'm with you the only way. Remember.
move heaven and earth for mi amigo.
That is freaking crazy looking. Hey, what did you say in there? You said he ate some bad chorizo?
Perhaps there was some bad chorizo, my friend. Maybe that's why he's gone sometimes.
That's what got him.
That's the technical difficulty.
Oh my gosh, so many new characters this year, so fun. The parade is coming back, but it is the same as last year and the year before, or should I say 2 years before. Pre-COVID, of course, and to be fair, so is Villains Grove. It's still pretty much more or less the same every year, but I'm still hoping we can at least make it in there, even if we do probably miss the parade. Having thought about food though all night, I think we both really could use some. Plus you could use a little rest, I'm sure, right? So we're gonna pull ourselves out of the party and over to the Smoke Jumpers Grill, which speaking of apps has already disappeared from the app online, but we're hoping we can still order from the regular analog line and at least get some gluten-free fries. Ooh, looks like they have some Halloween offerings here as well. With celiac disease, I always miss out on the Halloween treats. All right, finally. Okay, how are you holding up? Because you only got out of the hospital 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Right? You insisted on coming here. I wanted you to stay home. You feel okay?
Yeah, I feel good.
It's just the stitches. How are the stitches?
They feel fine.
Are you sure?
I'm just a little tired, but
okay,
I'm doing
well.
fine.
Let's
No pain.
replenish and see if you're okay then.
Yeah.
I don't want to push you too hard. That's why we haven't gotten in the line, that long line yet. We'll see if they close it by the time we're done. Kind of been the way things have been going tonight. Like, uh-oh, they closed it. Oh, I've never had the fries here. Kind of plain, but there's barbecue sauce. Let's see. Sorry, I know eating on camera's a little gross, but I get excited when I have gluten-free food. Oh my gosh, we killed them. We killed those fries. Now they're gonna come back as ghosts. Oh my gosh, I feel like my belly's sticking out like Santa Claus. Wrong holiday! Great Scott, I'm gonna have a food baby! Oh! Well, unfortunately, we definitely missed the parade, but I think with a little luck, we might still be able to see the Villains Grove, which Allie said she'd rather see anyways. Plus, I don't think, and I could be wrong, but I don't think they've changed the Frightfully Fun Parade all that frightfully much in the last year.
Well, we might get it at the next party.
Oh yeah! That's actually a good point, and I forgot, we have been invited to another Oogie Boogie Bash later on this month. We're still not sure if we're gonna be able to go 100%, but it's leaning that way. It's leaning that way. In the meantime, we'll just be here, waiting in line for the Villains Grove. Luckily at the moment, and maybe it's just because it's the end of the night, so people are trying to hurry up and get other last minute things done, so they might be exiting the Grove soon. It's actually, it's moving along. It only took us like maybe 30 minutes to get all the way up close to the front here, and now we're going in. Oh, look at that misty goodness. I missed the Villains Grove. I love it so much. All the different villains represented. A very artistic, sort of minimalistic style, honestly. They're trying to keep this moving as fast as they can to get as many people through here. They told us filming is absolutely encouraged, but to make it as quick as possible. So we will. But if you want a very long, much slower look at the Villains Grove, we did film it last year and in 2019 at the first Oogie Boogie Bash there ever was. All I can think every year is that I still want my backyard to look like this. Does your backyard look like this, Mr. Cheesy Pop? What's up, Justin? Does your backyard look like this?
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
Totally. Oh, look at that. It is gorgeous back here. It's just all the fog. How do they get the fog to hang for so long? Is it just sheer volume? Is it just that there's that much of it? Every time I get a fog machine, I feel like it's this thin little trickle and it just blows away. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Ooh, this spot reminds me of E.T. Elliot, be good. I'll be right here. I love those changing signs in here. I really like seeing these. This is a great costumes. I love this so much. This is awesome. Hey babe, this is like total vibes. It's like total mood. Is that what the kids say? This is like mood. What up, fellow kids? Hey, what is up, fellow kids? We're in a mood. I'm one of you. I know all about the next generation. Okay, I know nothing about the next generation. I just know that painting the roses red is awesome. Actually smells like roses. Does it smell like flowers to you? It's roses. It's not
smelled it like this.
I don't remember that smell.
It must just be because Allie's nearby.
Oh, everything smells like roses when she's around. I can't get over this guy in the crocodile suit, dude. He's a brave man. It is still in the 80s out here. It is very, very, very unreasonably warm. We're still obviously in the last days of summer, and summer is not giving up this year. It is putting up a mean fight. I've been trying to add wooden signs to eBay and other stuff to the antique store booth. I'm trying to raise a little extra money because Allie's been through so much with her surgery and stuff that I'm hoping to take her to New England in the fall sometime, in October maybe, towards the end of the month. I feel like in past years, when I get there, I would have probably complained like, oh, it's cold, it's too chilly. If I complain this year about it being too chilly in the fall, slap me, okay? Woo! It's weird because we're kind of in this weird bubble where there's not a lot of people. I can see it's packed behind us. It's really packed up ahead of us. We kind of have this wide open space. Look at that, Mr. Cheesy Pop can roam free range. Free range, Mr. Cheesiness. Oh, look at that, we got some geysers up there. There's some geezers down here walking the trail. To be honest, even though the line has been long outside all night, I actually love the faster pace that they're keeping. It's harder to like get sucked into the weird mood that it's had in past years, but at least it's not logs around. Sometimes the whole experience in here can feel like a line because it slows down that much. Such a cool experience. Just a little bit of lights and fogs, some projectors out here, right? And the strangely perfect scenery of the Redwood Creek Challenge Trail. I was in the meeting where they're like, you know that whole Redwood area we have with the big logs? We'll just throw some lights and fog on it. It'll be really spooky and kind of moody. I'd be like, what? Are you guys crazy? That'll never work. When you come out here and see this, oh, this is like my favorite part out here when the lightning comes. Look at the moon up there. Oh, it's about to get spooky. Look at that! The storm! Oh. Yes! Yes! 88 miles per hour! 1.21 gigawatts! Pushing through at the fast pace they kind of want you to means you will miss certain things. You know, like there's a witch that appears over here that you'll kind of miss. She gets assembled by some dots, but like I said, the faster pace has its benefits because it keeps it flowing. And after standing in that long line in the heat, watching everybody else dripping sweat along with you, you kind of stay very conscious that there are a lot of people behind you that still want to get in and experience it. So it's good to keep it breezing along. Look at that. It's a little bit Avatar-ish. I happen to know that this is Allie's favorite part over here with the twinkly trees. You love the twinkly trees. It's strangely not very Halloween-ish, you know, in some ways, and in other ways, it sort of is. Allie likes it so much, she's doing the rarest of all things. She's putting on her mini ears. Aww. She's got them on. Get in the mood for the finale over here. Everybody's favorite part. The part where if you get a big gap, if you get a space, you have one of the sickest photo ops you could possibly ever have at a Disney theme park, but it's hard to get that space. Walking through that final log tunnel of misty mystery alley. You're here in the mist, in the mystery. Spooky. And that's it. That is the end of the Villains Grove, the Faster 2022 edition. Oh man, they kept it moving. They kept it moving through the grove this time, right, Allie?
Yep.
All right, there goes Mr. Cheesy Pop off into the mysterious distance. Bye, Mr. Cheesy Pop! Dude, normally when we get to the end of the Oogie Boogie Bash, when we approach the end of the evening, I start to get bummed out because I'm like, no, I wish it would go on longer. And that is my one fair criticism of the Oogie Boogie Bash. It should go till at least midnight, maybe till 1. It needs to be at least an hour or two longer because they keep adding more stuff to it. It makes it almost impossible to see everything, much less get in line for treats or other shows and things that they have here that we've never got to experience. So that's the one thing. It could be a little longer, but this time in the heat, and it's still very warm, like I said, every person that we know that we've just bumped into is like, I'm getting out of here. Before it's even over, there's still about 5-10 minutes left to go. It was just a very Florida-ish night for Southern California. Very warm, had a heat wave the last couple of days, and very humid for this area. Plus, a heck of a lot of excitement out here. But somehow, we actually managed to do almost everything we set out to do. We saw, I think, almost all of the new characters, even though I never saw the Sheriff of Nottingham. We got a ton of candy, believe me, I can feel it, it's all in this bag here. Saw the Sanderson Sisters, visited the Villains Grove, and even though it was just a morsel, I did manage to actually sit down and eat something. For the first time ever, I think, at Oogie Boogie. Allie got some candy corn, cotton candy. Try saying that 10 times fast. Now here in the shadow of Mickey Mouse. The evening winds to a close. I feel like it's safe to say we've done our duty. It's time to go home and sleep well. Except, my friends, remember that this is just the beginning of the spooky season, and from here on out, things are gonna get a lot scarier as we head off to Universal, Not Scary Farm, and so many other places. So stay tuned, my friends, because Halloween is upon us. See you after the break. I'll see you next time in Random Land. We got 3 songs on the playlist. We're gonna play them all night long at the Oogie Boogie Bash, 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 bash. Oh, there he goes. He's going to bed. Mickey, you've done your duty. Go home. Sleep well. Allie got some cotton candy, caramel thing. What is it?
It's candy corn.
Okay. The problem is I'm just one of those sort of improvisational. Oh my gosh, look at this, it's Chris, no, it's Lumiere!
It's Lumiere!
Look at you! Look at that hairdo!
Oh my gosh, have the best time here at Oogie Boogie. It's a little hot, so melting, but you know.
Hey, I'm glad you're not a candlestick
I
anymore.
know.
But you're still holding candles! Let's get out of here so all these hard-working cast members can go home and sleep well too. Guys, there's a bunch of links down below. Instagram and such like, a different series I did with Bob Gurr, one of the Imagineers, who created a bunch of stuff at Disneyland. Like I said, we'll be back with more Halloween stuff. Plus, we've been here the last couple of Oogie Boogies, so if you're interested in more of the party or parties in years past, see how they stack up, go check those out. I just wanted to pop back here again, say thank you for watching. Thank you for all the love and support, especially the prayers and good vibes and thoughts and the cards you guys sent while Allie was recovering from surgery. It means a lot to me. It meant a lot to you, right?
Yeah, thank you so much.
We really appreciate all of you. We just wanted to put that out there. All right, let's get out of here so the cast members can go home.
So you're the one everybody's talking about.
Yep, that's me.